Okay, hello, this is Crimson Storm Surge, and today we will be doing a slightly different type of video. So, Mortal Kombat 1 obviously came out a few years ago now, and that was the first Mortal Kombat game I ever played. I know, come at me with your pitchforks and torches, because I know with the MK community that game is really unpopular. I don't care, I really liked it. And I really liked the guest characters in that game. And I knew that Mortal Kombat 11, 10, and 9 also had a bunch of guest characters, but I'd never played those games. But they're going for like less than £5 on the Xbox eShop at the moment. So I picked up MK11 and 10. MK9 is not on there, so I can't play that one. But now in playing all three of them, I thought I would now do a tier list and ranking video of all of the crossover characters that are in these games, but also something that nobody ever seems to mention when they do these rankings, because I didn't even know these really existed till literally a couple of days ago, is that MK10 and 11 also have crossover skins for some of the characters. So we will be ranking those too. So we have 5 tiers here. Get out of here! Which is basically like the bottom tier, that is for the absolute trash characters that basically should never have been added to Mortal Kombat ever. Test Your Mid, which is like, it's mid. Toasty, which is like, okay, we're beginning to cook. Fatality, really like awesome character, like super cool. And then Flawless Victory, which will be reserved for solely 3 characters that I feel should basically be in every single Mortal Kombat game because they are that good and that cool. So the criteria for my ranking is how fun the character is to play, how like faithfully they capture the essence of the character in the game, and also loosely like how well the character fits with Mortal Kombat. And also there will be like a slight bit of kind of personal bias, because there's like a few characters that I basically just do not care about whatsoever, really, which are going to be like ranked a little bit lower. But anyway, so on with that, we will kind of get onto the ranking now. So we'll kind of keep showing like some gameplay with me talking about my opinions on the character. Then we'll flick back over to this tier list and add them to this tier list. Also, I made this tier list, so if you also want to do your own rankings, this tier list is now on Tier Maker. So this is the title of it right here. So also, I want to preface by saying I am terrible at Mortal Kombat. At the same time, that's kind of good because that's going to be another additional category that will be weighted like a lot less, but still a criteria for my ranking as well, is how beginner friendly is the character, because I am like an absolute useless noob. So, you know, I'm kind of going in with this of like, okay, well, how are these characters for somebody who's basically sucks at the video game? Okay, so we will be going through ranking all of these characters and costumes in game release order. So starting off, we'll cover the Alien and Predator like crossover costumes. So first off, we have Infrared Scorpion, which is honestly a just generally very strange costume. So unlike some of these costumes, there's no real different animations. Like it is just Scorpion, except you just get blinded. You just like this skin is genuinely so blinding. Like it's really weird. I get what they were going for, and conceptually it actually is pretty cool. The issue is it's just way too neon, and they just needed to lower the brightness down by like a good 100 degrees. Okay, so then we have Commando Johnny Cage, which I think is supposed to be based off the like main character from the first Predator movie, whose name has just completely escaped me. But it doesn't look anything like him. It just looks like Johnny Cage in a military gear costume. Like, because when we get later on with some of these costume rankings, the costumes actually make the character look like the character that they're supposed to look like, but in the case of this one for Johnny Cage, it just doesn't. he still just looks like Johnny Cage, but in a slightly different outfit. So, honestly, yeah, this ain't great, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so here's where these crossover costumes finally begin to start cooking. So we have Jack's Carl Weathers costume. Now this costume I actually do like because it looks far more like the character that it's supposed to be based off of. Like, I do kind of wish, I know that's like Jack's whole shtick is that he has metal arms. I do wish the skin got rid of the metal arms and just gave him like normal human arms. Because obviously he would look way more like the character from the movie if he didn't have bionic arms. But outside of that, like, honestly, as far as representing what it's supposed to represent, this skin works. As I said, it could be better, and obviously, again, it is technically just, like, an army guy. So there's only, like, so unique it can really look. But still, I do actually really like this costume, and it is by far the best of the three. Okay, so now onto the actual characters. First off, we have Jason Voorhees. Now, I can't show certain moves and, like, fatalities and stuff because YouTube are not going to like it, so I'm just gonna have to, like, describe them. But Jason Voorhees, to me, doesn't feel like Jason Voorhees. So this is going to be, like, something that I'm gonna kind of keep bringing up with, like, all of these characters, really, is how much they actually feel like the character. And yeah, Jason just feels like a bodybuilder chunky man. He doesn't really feel like Jason. Like, he's slow, tanky, and he hits like a truck. But none of his moves really use his, his stabby weapon. Which I do wish they did, and I don't really get it, because I feel like most of his neutral attacks should use that, rather than just punching his opponent. I guess, and his fatality, like his sleeping bag one, doesn't actually put the opponent in a sleeping bag. Like, I know it's a reference to one of his kills from Friday the 13th, but it just doesn't work, because he just grabs the enemy normally. So the two redeeming things I do like about Jason, this teleport ability is really cool. And, if you equip one of his other, like, moveset, like, things, he has this ability which brings him back to life with, like, a small amount of health, the first time he's taken out. That ability is awesome and, like, really showcases this character, like, really well, since, you know, Jason just, like, is effectively immortal, because he's, like, a deadite or whatever. As I said, that being said, though, I mean, maybe it's just me, but as I said, Jason more just feels like a brawlery man with some of Jason Voorhees' like stuff tacked on rather than actually feeling like Jason Voorhees. Okay, so everything that I just said about Jason is to a lesser extent also true for Leatherface. Like, Leatherface, I'm not sure how you really translate this guy into a fighting game. To be honest, because he doesn't really do much, you know, in his movies other than, like, stab people with a chainsaw. So I do get that. So honestly, like, as far as that goes, like, as I was saying about Jason not really utilizing his weapons much, Leatherface is the opposite. Like, he has numerous attacks that use his chainsaw. Plus, if you equip, like, one of his specific moveset things, he then also gets a mallet, too, for, like, several of his attacks. And that really helps his case, because, you know, he's using multiple, like, things from his, you know, movies. I also like how the different, like, sort of moveset, like, style options, also change, like, the outfit that he wears based off his appearance across the different movies. Like, that is cool. Jason loosely does that, but not really anywhere near as much. Like, if Jason had, like, a Jason X outfit or something, that would have been really funny. But he doesn't. Leatherface's fatalities are also pretty good. Could they be better? Sure. But they're, you know, they're, like, decent enough that I don't really care. So Leatherface is, like, a pretty mid character to me. Like, as I said, he could probably be better, but at the same time, for just a guy with a chainsaw, they did kind of do all they could really do with that, to be honest. Okay, so now here is where the game really starts to cook, is with the Alien and Predator. So, as I was saying, like, with Jason and, Leatherface, they don't really feel like those characters, at least not entirely. I completely, disagree on that with Predator and the Xenomorph. Like, they feel like I'm playing as a Predator and a Xenomorph. Like, ignore the fact that I can't remember any of the command input moves for this character, but Predator does have, like, his laser guns, he has his, like, arm blade, he has various traps depending on which set you go with, he has, like, his infrared thing, his fatality is really good, his victory screen is really good. As I said, I know, like, if I'm not doing the command inputs, it basically, I am just punching and kicking. But his, like, command input, like, special moves are genuinely really cool, even if I can't remember the inputs for them. So, the Predator is definitely, like, a really, really good character that I do really like in this game. Oh yeah, also the Predator can go invisible with one of his, like, attacks as well, which is really cool. Like, this is just really cool. Plus, he also has, like, you know, the lasers. As I said, he has, like, a load of just high-tech weapons, which is just really fun. Okay, but, for the final, guest character in this game, we have the Xenomorph, which is genuinely by far my favorite crossover character, both in this game and one of my all-time favorites across the whole franchise. I really, really, really love how they did the Xenomorph, especially because of, like, the class system in this game specifically. It means that the Alien also has a bunch of, like, different options and playstyles. So you have, like, the Xenomorph Queen, which is, like, the version I'm using currently, which can summon, like, face huggers, and it also has the ability to summon, like, another Xenomorph, so, like, I can just, like, summon this other Xenomorph to crash and scurry along the stage, which is just really cool. Then you have, like, one that gives it, like, the acid spit and stuff, and then also the one that I'm fighting currently is the Tarkotan Xenomorph, which is also a really fun way of, like, tying it into the lore, because basically the Xenomorph in this game is a Tarkotan, so they have, like, the wrist blades and, like, the jaws and things. Also, the Alien probably has one of my favorite fatalities in the game, which, again, I can't really show, but, like, the one where they summon the Xenomorph Queen, that is such a cool fatality. And also their victory screen, where then just a chest burster comes out of your opponent. Again, like, genuinely 10 out of 10 references with the Xenomorph. Also, the Xenomorph, even, like, when I'm attacking, yeah, I'm kinda punching and kicking, but because of all the, like, tail attacks, and, like, the way, it, like, scratches with the claws, I feel like I'm using this feral monster of a creature, rather than, like, you know, I'm using a person. So I do genuinely, absolutely love how they did the Xenomorph in this game. Okay, so with all of that being said, we will now add the MKX characters and skins to our tier list. So the Commando Johnny Cage goes and get out of here, because, like, what are we doing, bro? Why are you like this? Same with the Infrared Scorpion, that I love the concept, but because I can barely see anything, again, just get out of here for now. We are also throwing Kratos in here just because I haven't played his game. Not because I don't think Kratos is cool. Like, I've seen some gameplay of him, and he is cool. Freddy Krueger should be on here somewhere, but I don't know. Did I forget to stick him on here? Honestly, possibly. Freddy Krueger will also kind of have to go in this bottom tier too, just because, again, I haven't played the game that they're from. So the Carl Weathers, like, version of Jax is cool, but there's only really so high I can put it. So Jason, again, I'm going to put in test your mid, because Jason, again, as I just said, doesn't really feel like Jason Voorhees in this game. It's cool he's here, but I just don't really like him that much. Leatherface can go slightly above him, because, as I said, for a guy with a chainsaw, they kind of did all they could, but I wish he had a bit more flair to him somehow. So the Predator is going in Fatality, because the Predator is one of the best crossover characters they've added. But the Xenomorph, we are putting in Flawless Victory as one of the 3 characters across this franchise that I genuinely feel should just be in every Mortal Kombat game, because they are that good of a character. Okay, so now we've moved on to MK11, and starting off we have Noob Saibot with the Batman Who Laughs. Now, I am genuinely shocked that they put the Batman Who Laughs in this game, because when this game came out, like, the Batman Who Laughs had probably only just been introduced in the comics. So this is, like, for the time this game came out, like, genuinely a pretty deep-cut character, and also fits Noob Saibot really well, since Noob Saibot's, like, a corrupted Sub-Zero, and the Batman Who Laughs like a corrupted Batman. That's really cool. Also, Noob Saibot does also have a costume for the Nightmare Batman from the Zack Snyder movies, like the evil sort of doomed future of that movie. So the 2 Batman themed costumes that Noob Saibot has in this game are genuinely so good, and also Batman is a really good fit for Noob Saibot with all of his hiding in the shadows and stuff. So genuinely Noob Saibot getting these skins is so peak. Okay, so now we've got the Cyborg costume for Kano, which honestly feels oddly racist, because obviously Cyborg is, black, and Kano is a white guy, so this costume does just kind of feel a little sus, I'm not gonna lie. But it is a cool costume, obviously Kano being a cyborg, and obviously getting, a cyborg-themed costume, it goes with his character. It just, as I said, feels kinda icky to some extent that they gave it to him rather than to, Jax, who I feel would have been the much better character to receive the skin. But whatever, as I said, it looks like Cyborg, it does kinda fit his character, and it is a really cool looking costume, so I can't really complain too much. Okay, so now we've got the, David Ayer Suicide Squad version of Killer Croc on Baraka. I really don't get why this isn't a skin for Reptile. I know Reptile isn't in this game, but still. This should be an outfit for Reptile, not for, Baraka. Still, on the account that Reptile isn't in this game, and you have Baraka, this, especially this version of Killer Croc specifically, really suits Baraka. I mean, because some of these DC skins, it does still kinda feel like you're playing as, the character that's wearing the skin rather than the character of the skin, if that makes sense. But this skin really makes me feel like I'm playing as this version of Killer Croc, because it looks perfect, honestly. This is probably, this and the Batman Who Laughs skins are probably genuinely the 2 best, collab skins in this game and genuinely across the franchise, in my opinion. Okay, so now we have the Cassie Quinn outfit for Cassie Cage. So, this both feels fitting and also really not fitting, because it isn't Cassie Cage supposed to be a teenager in this game, and then you're just kind of given her the sort of sexy pit-up girl kind of character, which is a bit weird. But I do also, to some extent, though, me saying that, it is kind of weird that this isn't, the Suicide Squad movie version of Harley Quinn, because obviously Killer Croc, that costume is based off that movie, so I don't really know why the Harley Quinn one isn't. Because this really feels more obviously it's based off Kill the Justice League, which obviously didn't come out for, ages after this game. But in Kill the Justice League, Harley Quinn has, a drone. So, honestly, retroactively, I think the skin has kind of become better because of the fact of that game existing. I mean, to say what you want about that game, but I like that game. So yeah, there you go. That's this one. Okay, so now we have the Doomsday outfit for Geras, which genuinely is insane that they not Doomsday, I mean Darkseid. It's kind of insane that they put Darkseid in this game. I know it is a skin, so obviously he doesn't have the eye laser, but still, the fact that you could play as Darkseid technically in a Mortal Kombat game is kind of insane. It's also really funny that there's like a skin for Geras, because Geras is supposed to be like this like protector of like time. And then you just give him like the super like most evil guy in history basically as a costume, which is just really, really funny. But this costume does look good. I do wish his like sand became red just to like loosely mimic the like eye lasers. But even regardless of that, this is a really cool costume. Okay, so lastly we have the Catwoman costume for Katana. Again, this like fits because Katana, like really swift, agile fighter with like the fan blades and stuff. And then, you know, Catwoman, it goes, I obviously wish there was a character in Mortal Kombat that had a whip that got this costume because that obviously would have gone better. Also, the outfit doesn't really look like Catwoman because, obviously it's just like a jumpsuit. Like if they'd given it like a tail or something, and made it like a darker color, I think that would have gone. At the same time, it is like, you know, a very sort of sexy, well, I was going to say Catgirl like costume. So I mean, it still kind of looks like Catwoman, and I think it is more supposed to be based off like the more like older like comic design for Catwoman, which again, like fair play, you know. So it's a pretty basic meh costume, but it's better to have it than to not have it, you know. Okay, so now we have Mr. Waiso Skibbity, the Jonkler himself. Now, the Jonkler in this game, I guess I'm just going to keep calling him that because it's funny. So the Jonkler in this game does, like, really feel like the Jonkler. He kind of has the whole, you know, he has the Jason Todd, he has the crowbar, he has, like, the, he has, like, a, yeah, exploding Jack-in-the-Box. He has, like, them, like, boxing glove, like, things where he kind of just becomes Min-Min from ARMS if you use those, which is like a genuinely just really irritating attack to deal with online. He has like this weird, you know, exploding like this thing. I'm not really sure what this weird exploding thing even is, to be honest. But he is just like a really fun, like weird mix-up character that just does a bunch of silly shenanigans. Also, his fatality is probably one of the best in the game. Like, genuinely, because of the fake, like, friendship thing. His fatality is really, really funny. So, yeah, I do really like the Joker in this game. Is he kind of, you know, like, the best character, as far as crossovers go? No. But at the same time, he is really cool, and it does feel like I'm playing as the Joker. It is kind of weird that he's in this game, and also this is, like, kind of based off his Injustice, design. Again, like, kind of. Okay, so now we've got Spawn, who is probably, honestly, my favorite character in, like, all of, like, these Mortal Kombat crossovers. Like, Spawn is just so cool. I've always liked Spawn as a character and felt like he should be in more stuff. So the fact that he isn't in this game and just has, like, all of his aura is so nice to see, because I feel like sometimes when, you know, characters get added to other game franchises, they kind of lose a load of their aura. Like, you know, because like I was sort of saying about, like, Jason and stuff earlier, it doesn't necessarily feel like you're playing as the character, but this feels like I'm playing as Spawn. Like, because he has the guns, he has the cape, he has, like, these demon things, I'm not really sure what that is. His fatality and fatal blow are, like, so over the top. Also, his victory screen, where he basically just gets dragged back to hell, is, again, such a cool victory screen. So, genuinely, I love Spawn. Am I kind of biased? Yes. Also, we need a new live-action Spawn movie, because, like, this guy deserves to actually get, like, a franchise, to be honest. So am I, like, kind of biased? Yes. At the same time, Spawn is definitely, like, one of the best examples of the character feels like I'm playing as the character in this game. Okay, so from my favorite character in this game, crossover-wise, to my least favorite now, we have Rambo. Now, Rambo just feels, honestly, kind of like a weird character to be put in Mortal Kombat. Like, I know he is kind of like, you know, this sort of violent guy who does, like, you know, attack people and stuff. At the same time, he is just a guy. And I mean, we will get to characters who are just a guy later on, like when we talk about Ghostface. But Ghostface weirdly feels like a meme character, especially with how they're portrayed in that game. Whereas Rambo is kind of played completely straight, which I feel kind of does him to some extent a disservice because of the fact that he doesn't really, you know, he can't really do much against like most of the roster. His traps are cool. Like, don't get me wrong, I do like his traps. Like, that is fun. Like, that is a fun attack. And his bow is also really cool. So he's kind of like this sort of zoner character. Like, Rambo is a sort of annoying zoner character to play, and I like how they handled him in this game. I just, to some extent, wish he wasn't in the game to begin with. Because as I said, he just feels like a weird character. Like, as far as Rambo goes, like, they did him well, and his Fatal Blow and Fatality, like, are cool. There's just, like, something that for no real reason I just don't like Rambo in this game, but I don't necessarily have, like, a great reason as to why I don't. Okay, so now I'm about to go back to my complaint that I had with Jason and Leatherface of not really feeling like the character that they're supposed to be. The Terminator in this game doesn't really feel like the Terminator. Yeah, he has a shotgun, his Fatal Blow has, like, the motorbike. Or is that his Fatality? I can't remember which. One of them has, like, his motorbike. His victory screen where it shows, like, the destroyed future with all the Terminators. His victory screen is genuinely my favorite victory screen of any character in this whole franchise. But, so that does automatically earn him some points. But, like, the Terminator, he's like this guy made of metal, but I don't really feel like I'm playing as a robot. I feel like I'm playing as Arnold Schwarzenegger, if that makes sense. So, I do wish he had, like, a costume where he has, like, the exoskeleton version rather than, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger's face. Because, for a start, that would help. Obviously, he has the shotgun, which you kind of expect. But, I mean, I know the other Terminators in, like, the Terminator franchise are more used like the weapons. Because obviously you have the T-1000, which I'll get to later on in this video, which obviously has, like, the liquid metal blades and stuff. Whereas Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator doesn't really have much stuff like that. But I do wish he had, like, some more futuristic-y weapons, or, like, one of his arms was sort of metal, and he just really, like, punched the opponent, like, halfway across the stage, or something to really get across that he is a robot. As I said, he's not a bad character, he is just kind of like a mid character, in my opinion, because he has some things that are really cool, like his Fatal Blow and Fatality and Victory Screen. Then just his general in-match gameplay, like, of his normal attacks, just doesn't really feel like that cool, to be honest. Okay, so finally we have RoboCop. I don't know why he has, like, this Judge Dredd skin. Is it supposed to be based off Judge Dredd, or does he actually, like, look like this in a movie? Because I don't ever remember RoboCop looking like this. So RoboCop kind of fixes the complaint that I had with the Terminator, where he feels like I'm playing as a robotic man. Like, because he has, you know, these, like, missiles, he has, like, this gun, he also has, like, he has, like, this assault cannon, which is just insane. His Fatal Blow and Fatality both also have, like, his mech robot thing. That's a name I do not remember. But I really like his mech robot thing. That's fun. And, like, look at how stiff his animations look. Like, he looks like I'm playing as Darth Vader with how, like, stiff he's moving. And that just adds character. Also, he even has, like, a little servo, like, whining noise when you, like, move. Which just further enhances him feeling like a robot. So RoboCop, as I said, kind of fixes all the problems I had with the Terminator, where it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm playing as this robotic, just guy. Also, just the amount of just insane weapons he has is kind of fun. He sort of suffers in that regard from, like, the Rambo problem of kind of being, like, this annoying zonery character. It's like, oh yeah, he's cool, he's in the game. At the same time, I don't like fighting him at all, because he's just really annoying to fight against. So, you know, that does loosely dock him points, but he does definitely feel like RoboCop, so as I said, gotta give him some points there. And yeah, that kind of wraps up Mortal Kombat 11. Okay, so now we are back over to the old tier list. I also remembered to actually add Freddy Krueger to it this time. Which again I'm having to shove in the bottom tier just because I haven't played MK9, so I can't comment on him. So the Joker we're putting in Fatality because, as I said, the Joker, he really feels like the Joker. He is the psychotic, just mad, crazy guy. Same with RoboCop. It feels like I'm playing as this robotic cyborg that's just geared out with an insane amount of weapons. I'm actually going to have to put the Terminator in Test Your Mid as much as I don't want to. Actually, then again, no, I'm going to bump him up to Toasty again just because his Fatal Blow, Fatality, and Victory animations are so good that just earns him some extra points. So now so Spawn, we are sticking in Flawless Victory because he, again, is just one of those characters that I just wish was in all of these games. Like, he is so cool. Rambo, I'm sticking in Toasty. If he didn't have, like, the traps and some cool stuff, he would honestly go and Test Your Mid. But, like, some of his stuff just kind of saves him. So, honestly, the Killer Croc costume for Baraka and the Batman Who Laughs costume for Noob Saibot, we're sticking both of those in Fatality just because they are such cool costumes that really go. We're sticking this one in Get Out of Here just because it seems racist. The Cassie Cage one we're also sticking in here just because it kind of seems sus and weird. The Catwoman one, that can go in Toasty just because, you know, it is cool, and you know, it makes me feel toasty looking at it, if you get what I mean. And then the Darkseid one, like, as cool as it is, I'm sticking in Test Your Mid just because it feels like Geras is cosplaying as Darkseid. It doesn't really feel like I'm playing as Darkseid. So yeah, there we go, and now we are on to the final game that started this whole journey in the first place, MK1. Okay, so we are on to MK1 now, and I will start off with what is the worst crossover character in this game by a mile, Conan the Barbarian. What is Blood doing in this game? What is Diddy Blood doing on the calculator? Like, seriously, why is he here? I don't think I'm the only one that, like, is of the opinion of, like, who in the modern day cares about Conan the Barbarian, because I sure did not. Honestly, if they'd added He-Man, like, I would have preferred that. Like, He-Man and Conan the Barbarian, to me, are, like, pretty the same. But at least, like, next year, He-Man is getting, like, a movie, and he has, like, a Netflix show. Like, He-Man feels far more relevant than Conan probably ever will, if I'm honest. I mean, Conan, for, like, what he is, like, oh yeah, big brutish man with sword, he feels like big brutish man with sword. Like, I think, technically, they did the best they could have done with the fact that they put Conan in the game, but I just don't think they should have put Conan in the game to begin with. As I said, I'm not really sure what character they should have put in instead. As I said, if you still wanted, like, big brutish man with sword, I think they should have just gone with He-Man, to be honest. Okay, so the T1000 fixes every issue that I had with the T800, where he really feels like the T1000, like, he feels like this futuristic Terminator. Also, like, all of the animations they did with his, like, liquid metal form and stuff are genuinely, like, so good. I can't remember which one is... Oh, yeah, here it is. Like, this is such a cool, like, ability that he can just, like, turn into this goo blob, basically. I do love the animations of this character. Like, genuinely, they did such a good job with the animations that alone kind of wins me over on the T1000. Like, I never really cared about him as a character when he was announced to be in this game, but I like playing as him just because he looks cool to play. And similar to the T800, his Fatal Blow and Fatality are really good in this game. And also, again, his victory screen is also pretty cool. I mean, obviously in this game you don't really get, like, anywhere near as stylized victory screens as you did in MK11, and even MKX, but his victory screen, as far as, like, the ones in this game go, is also pretty good. So, yeah, honestly, like, the T1000 is genuinely just a pretty cool character. Okay, so now we've got to Omni-Man, who, again, does feel like big brutish guy that you punch with. But in the case of Omni-Man, that works, because Omni-Man is basically just Superman minus half the superpowers. So him just being, like, this big brutish, like, brawler that just punches his way through, like, everything really works. Also, I think, did they actually get J.K. Simmons to voice him in this game? If they didn't, the guy that did the voice acting for him is really good. I mean, to be fair, like, the guys that got to do all the voice acting for, like, all the crossover characters in this game did, like, really good jobs, like, genuinely. Omni-Man also has probably my favorite fatality and animality of the entire franchise. His animality, especially where he just becomes a giant monster from that one level in Funko Fusion. What is that rake doing? The stage is actually just broken. What the hell? So yeah, Omni-Man is, like, he's a fun character. So is he, like, some super complex character? No. But as far as Omni-Man specifically goes, I don't really think that they needed to do much else. I am also really looking forward to that Invincible Versus game. He also has, like, the Hulk Thunderclap, which is pretty funny. I think that Invincible fighting game will actually be really fun. I'm intrigued to see how they do Omni-Man in that game compared to how he is in this game. I think in, like, that game, he'll actually probably be able to, like, fly and, like, super dash around like the characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I do like Omni-Man. Okay, so now we've got Peacemaker, who has some very funny voice lines in this game. Like, if you haven't heard some of his voice lines, I would highly recommend listening to them. Peacemaker, he is technically just a guy with gun. But because he also has, like, the helmet abilities that I do not remember the, command inputs for, it makes him feel a bit less like guy with gun. Because he has them. Also, like, his Sonic Boom ability, like, some of his, like, helmet abilities are genuinely, like, actually just really deadly moves. Oh yeah, Sonic Boom. So it's back, forward, A. That's, like, a really good and really annoying attack online. Like, I hate that move. Also, obviously, he has, like, Eagle for some of his attacks. His Victory Screen, Fatality, and Fatal Blow are good. I wish his fatality was a bit better, because it's basically just him failing miserably to attack this butterfly, which is kind of in character, but I do wish they'd done something a bit cooler with that. Like, Peacemaker, though, I do think, like, as far as sticking Peacemaker in a Mortal Kombat game, they did him well. I would have rather Peacemaker had been in an Injustice game, and genuinely, if they do make Injustice 3, I do want them to put Peacemaker in that game too. Just because I'm curious, like, how he would work in an Injustice game compared to Mortal Kombat. Because I know the Injustice games, like, are obviously quite, like, physical and brutal. But with Mortal Kombat, like, it's far more focused on, like, oh yeah, okay, so how deadly can we make these characters seem, rather than, like, how, like, schmancy. Because if he could, like, I mean, I know if you're, like, really good as Peacemaker, you can chain his, like, helmet abilities together. But realistically, are most people going to be able to do that? No. So in Injustice, like, if they actually gave him, like, a really easy, like, cool combo string where he just like, chains his helmet abilities, that would be really fun. But as far as it goes, like, Peacemaker is good, but I probably could have done something to give him a little bit more flair, especially for his fatality. Okay, so them putting Homelander in this game was one of the main reasons I played this game in the first place. I don't even, like the boys that much. I don't really like the boys. I was gonna say I like Homelander as a character, that sounds bad. Technically, it's obviously the opposite, where I despise Homelander, because that's, like, the point. But I was really curious, like, how they would do him in a fighting game, especially like Mortal Kombat, with how kind of brutal both him and the boys as a whole are. I also genuinely wouldn't have minded, like, if they'd put multiple characters from the boys in this game, like they got Starlight too. Since Invincible is getting a fighting game, I genuinely want the boys to get a fighting game in the same vein as Mortal Kombat. Like, honestly, they just got the Mortal Kombat developers to make the boys fighting game. Like, I would be so down for that, because that would be so cool. But Homelander is really fun. Like, he has, like, the mode where he can fly, which is pretty cool. He obviously has all the eye lasers, which you kind of come to expect, because basically Homelander is just glorified Cyclops with the amount he spams the eye lasers. His moves are really good references to, like, stuff. His fatality is insane. Like, genuinely, his fatality is so cool, because it does, like, the plane scene. Again, his dialogue lines are just really funny, and also his, like, entrance animation and victory screen with the milk is mildly disturbing. So Homelander he really feels like Homelander in this game, and they did him so well in this game, genuinely. And I said, it makes me want a boys fighting game because of how well they did Homelander in this game. Okay, so now we have my second favorite ever Mortal Kombat character next to Spawn. Ghostface is so cool. So before Ghostface was added to this game, and even, like, still really, I haven't seen the Scream movies. So I didn't really know what to expect with Ghostface, but genuinely, I absolutely love how they did Ghostface in this game. Like, after he was added and I really liked his moveset, I have seen, like, a few clips from the Scream movies, and I've also kind of done, like, a bit of backstory research into Ghostface. And the way in this game he's basically like a sort of parody character, really, because he breaks the fourth wall constantly. Like, his fatality is entirely just him basically killing the player of the game. And his moveset is so well done, with the fact that there are multiple ghost faces, like, in his franchise, and the fact that you can, like, switch between different ghost faces that then have, like, different special moves. Is just so cool. Like, the way they programmed him into this game to make him work in Mortal Kombat is so good that even though I don't really care that much about Ghostface, he has become my favorite character in this game specifically, because I just love how he plays, with being this, like, funky, you know, guy that just, like, is constantly mixing up his options with the switching between the ghost faces and stuff. And also, from what I gather, he also kind of, like, has some, like, lore basis as well, because I think it's like, oh yeah, some of the characters from, like, some previous Mortal Kombat games are also supposed to be the other ghost faces, because Billy and Stu are both, like, two of the ghost faces, but then two of the other ones are, like, Mortal Kombat characters, so there's, like, 4 ghost faces that you basically play as at one time, and as I said, that you can, like, switch between with his attacks. And as I said, his, like, Fatal Blow and, like, Animality and Fatality are, again, done really, really well. So, yeah, honestly, I love Ghostface in this game. And also, again, like, his voice lines, where he just constantly breaks the fourth wall, is also very, very funny. What's your favorite scary movie? So we now return for the final time to the tier list. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and also use code CrimsonGoat in the Fortnite item shop. And if you want me to do more tier list videos like this, such as the guest characters in Dead by Daylight, that's a video I really want to do, and honestly might do anyway, regardless of how this video performs. But if you want to see that, let me know. So anyway, on with the ranking. So Conan the Barbarian, I'm afraid, is the only crossover character that I have actually played as to go and get out of here. Like, seriously, why are you here? Because I genuinely don't know. So then we've got the T-1000, which can go in Fatality because his animations are so cool. Peacemaker, I am gonna have to stick in Toasty just because I wish he had more sauce. I'm sorry. Homelander, again, could go in Fatality because it's perfect. He feels exactly like Homelander. Same with Omni-Man. Actually, I'm going to put Omni-Man down in Toasty, because although he feels like... Oh, no, actually, I really like his Fatality and Animality, so now he can go into Fatality tier. And then Ghostface can go in Flawless Victory, so the Xenomorph, Ghostface, and Spawn take the cake as the 3, like, characters that I love the most across the Mortal Kombat guest character line. And honestly, if we got a Mortal Kombat game that had just had all 3 of those characters in one game, that would be so peak. So yeah, here is the final tier list. As I said, Kratos and Freddy have to go in this bottom tier because I haven't played MK9. But let me know your thoughts on this ranking below. And as I said, this tier list is available for you to make your own tiers. So please feel free to do that and then, like, submit them in my Discord server or something. And anyway, like and subscribe, and see y'all later.